It's great to see all of you, and so we'll start the Lititz Borough Council Reorganization Meeting right now. So, we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Swear each council member in, and we're going to use the order on which it's here. So, Mary, come on up. Okay, Darren, we're here and we're good to go.
Okay.
All right. Let's get started. This is a loyalty oath, and please repeat after me. I, Mary Gaddis,
I, Mary Gaddis,
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
obey, and defend
the
Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge
the
duties of the Lititz Borough Council with fidelity. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. They're residents and taxpayers of Lititz Borough and the region, and I'm glad they're all here. This is beautiful.
That's great.
Everybody.
Did you get it? Okay, thank you. Okay.
Now, where do I go?
No, no,
There you go. I'm on down.
sit next to Christine.
Somebody tell me what to do.
Yeah. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Please repeat after me. I, Tanea Carpenter,
I, Tanea Carpenter,
do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge
and I will discharge
the duties of the Lititz Borough Council
the duties of the Lititz Borough Council
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll sit up there either to the right of okay. Jerry. Okay, please repeat after me. I, Gerald Meck, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of the Lititz Borough Council with fidelity. Okay.
I have a couple other comments if I can make them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I just took the oath to support the U.S. Constitution and the Constitution of Pennsylvania, which I actually read, and I brought a copy along if anyone wants to see the Constitution of Pennsylvania. In addition to this oath, I'm making the following commitments to my council colleagues and the residents of the borough who elected me. Thank you for all of your support and for coming tonight. I do really appreciate all of your support. I appreciate that. So in addition to this oath, I am taking my responsibility seriously. As a result of my seriousness, here's my commitment to you all. Have respectful and data-driven dialogue with members of the council. 2, attend and come prepared for council meetings, committees, commissions as assigned. 3, listen and learn from the residents of the borough. And 4, make decisions that are fair and just for all borough residents. The above commitments are anchored in my personal values, which are do justly, do right, which is fair to the council, residents, and the borough employees. Love mercy, being kind and respectful with my interactions with others, and walk humbly, being modest and a team player, recognizing that others can make a contribution to well-being our community. It's my commitment to everybody here today and to our community and to our residents.
Find a seat up here. All right, now we are going to begin with the nomination of the election of officers. Do I have a nomination for the office of president?
I'd like to nominate Stephen Lee for the office of president.
Do I have any other nominations? Not? Is there anyone else? Luke? Okay, if not, would like, all those in favor of having Steve Lee as president of the Borough Council? Say aye.
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 Yeah, sure.
Have to touch it. Oh, there we go. Okay, just, and I had a little list of for all the nominees. I wasn't sure how many it was going to be tonight, but here. So just in general, so that from my edification as well as most likely the community. So would you be willing to speak? It's on you now, because I wasn't sure if there's anybody else, just on the availability time-wise for this position, so people can understand like what goes into being a president. How much time is gonna
Yeah, absolutely.
is gonna take?
I don't know if I could quantify the time. I looked to Shane back there. I know I often give him a lot of credit and say the president does a lot of duties, gets called upon by the various staff members for a lot of work. We'll admit it's quite a burden. To carry that on, I'm willing to do that. It does take a lot of availability. You do have to, and I noticed I was vice president for the last 2 years. And I got called into a lot of meetings with Ken on the finance, Shane on the personnel. So there's a lot of responsibility, I would say, for any of president.
Steve, I also have a question for you. What do you have any vision for the council, future, and things that we need to deal with this next year?
And when we had the orientation with you guys, I kind of shared some of the different goals that we know we had, coming up in the next coming years. I would say there's going to be a lot of focus on some of those specific goals. I mean, if you want to go into some of those things that we discussed during the orientation, we definitely want to get a lot more elective involvement amongst all the council members. As I was sharing, I do think Karen carried a lot of it and did great with it for years. And I'm going to try to bring a lot of all of you into it. I got thrown into it, a lot of the different meetings I said as advice. I'm going to try to bring everybody equally into it. So it's not just a burden of just one or two folks. But I do think, it often was a lot of burden. And Shane, he did great with that. But I think, the more they can distribute those responsibilities, the better.
Other questions? So next time I will open up for questions before we vote.
There you go.
All right. Okay. For the office of vice president. Have any issues?
Christian Sensen advice.
Oh, I didn't ask the list. Second.
Just a second.
Second, okay. Any other nominations?
If I would ask the same questions of Christine in terms of what her understanding is of her responsibilities and how you see that playing out and how we can help with sharing responsibilities and how you envision that.
And thank you. So I've obtained a little bit of an education from Steve and speaking with him about the position and what all he gets involved in and what Shane has had to bring him as far as personnel and some other. I already serve on the finance committee, so I'm pretty up to speed on that and don't feel there'd be any significant just there in my responsibilities. But I do have the flexibility in my schedule to available for any meeting, phone calls or whatever may be outcome. And as far as the vision, I hope that this is the first time that I've served that we've had an overturn of 3 council members. So my goal for this first year would be to make sure that y'all get all acclimated and have all the resources and things that y'all need in order to do your responsibilities as council. So, welcome aboard. I accept the nomination.
Some other questions, comments? Those in favor of Christine Sensenig as office as vice president, please say aye.
Aye.
Hey,
Maybe we could introduce the person that's on
I will. Yeah, Ken Mobley is presently in the state of Washington, dealing with some family issues out there. So welcome, Ken. It's great to have you on board here and continue here. The office of president. The office of President Pro Tem. Is there any nominations from the floor? Council.
I would like to nominate Kendrick Mobley as President Pro Tem.
Questions?
sake of the people, could we just give an explanation of what that means in terms, what his duties would be?
Actually, that is I read it today, basically, to find out. And so if the vice president, if the president is not present, vice president cannot do the duties of the president, then that falls to the next in line, which would be the president pro tem. That's how I understand. Any other questions? All those in favor of nomination of Kendrick Mobley for president pro tem, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Ken. President pro tem, congratulations.
Thank you.
I will take this seat and to be president.
Let's go stay here.
When I was,
Well, the fun part is done now. We got a couple boring things for you all to do, but it's first of all, welcome, Gary, Mary. Hey, looking forward to, we had those orientation discussions, really are looking forward to you guys joining us, and we do our best to help get up to speed with the various committees. And like I said, I genuinely am looking forward to the different values, thoughts that you guys can bring to each of the discussions that we have. There's a broad list of discussions we go through, as you're aware of. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys as we go through some of those things. You definitely have a lot of friends, and I hope your friends continue to come. We get lonely there sometimes each month. I can see you obviously all had a lot of supporters. I mean, this is not just family and friends. Great to see. And I've said it before, politics aside, I generally just love Lititz, and I just want some other folks sitting up here with us that love Lititz also. So let's go through. Elijah had distributed a couple things to all of you over the past couple of weeks. We really just have a few reappointments to do, some recognitions to do, and that's the bulk of what we have here. So we have several different reappointments on here for the borough secretary, the borough treasurer, civil engineer, water sewer engineer, traffic engineer, solicitor, emergency management coordinator, deputy emergency management coordinator, and the UCC Board of Appeals. So we will need to go through each one of these and just have a motion. Action on each one individually, can't be all of them together. So does anybody have any question? Yeah. Your ones.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve Jahirek as Borough Secretary.
Second. We need a second on these?
Yes.
Yeah.
Got a motion for second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Keep forgetting Ken's gonna be delayed.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve Rob McFadden as the Borough Treasurer.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
To make a motion that we approve David Miller Associates as the Borough Civil Engineer.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'll get it right here, guys, by the fourth one.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve NTEC as the Borough Water Sewer Engineer. Second.
Got a motion in a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Got
I'd like to make a motion.
it. Opposed?
Sorry.
I got it right that time, Christina's waiting for Ken.
Darn. I'd like to make a motion that we approve Grove Miller as the Borough Traffic Engineer. Second.
Got a motion in a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
We're actually
There you go.
two, all right.
Change it.
Now we're in business. Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve Wally Snyder as the Borough Solicitor.
Second.
Got a motion in a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve Dwayne Over as the Borough Emergency Management Coordinator. Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve Brett Fosnot as the Borough Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve Mike Enck and Gary Cassidy as the Borough UCC Board of Appeals.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. That is through all of the appointed borough positions. Next on the agenda is the recognition of the Warwick Emergency Services Commission appointments. And Elijah, correct me if I'm wrong, we don't have to actually take actions or just recognizing this?
Yes, that's my understanding.
All right, well, then we'd simply just recognize Dwayne Ober as a fire commissioner. He's doing. Didn't see. Mike Smith is deputy fire commissioner.
Mike Smith in the room?
I saw him leaving, going, there's lights and sirens.
Oh,
I knew it.
It's an accident. I won't.
All right. Agenda is the subcommittee assignments. As we showed you guys during the orientation, we weren't going to make those assignments tonight. Those would be, a draft would be assigned at the January 30th.
Actual appointments will be, yeah. Right. It's the president's discretion of who goes where. So obviously that couldn't be done before tonight.
So maybe you could just let the audience know what some of those committees and commissions are.
State benefits, subcommittee on employee benefits and insurance. Use grounds. Finances. Personnel, personnel, basically. Rent control is no more, right?
Correct.
Fire company liaison. The library liaison. The emergency services liaison. Regional committee liaison. Regional housing economic development. Are these ever get wrapped into one?
I think the school's probably most likely going to be a committee rep. I don't know that we need a formal one. So I was like, each one of them. Yeah, I think there's going to be one regional plan rep.
Streets and traffic. Water and sewer. Direct liaison, school district liaison, venture Lititz rep. The Warwick Regional Rec Committee rep. This one, regional development infrastructure is also part of the others. We'll have a junior council person working on that one there. And the way out to trail. So I'll take a look at each of those because obviously we got to first of all look at the ones that Andy and Shane were on, see where there's vacancies. If I'm wrong, Elijah, if I'm president, I cannot be chair or vice chair of anything also.
Correct. You still on every committee, so you should not be the chair or vice chair.
Okay, so obviously with three outgoing council members and myself, kind of look through where some of those voids are to start, because I would assume some of the council members that are on some of the committees will probably continue to carry on the ones that they were on, unless to see exactly how that plays out. I will start to draft something just to review it. You guys have some other discussions on that.
So it might be interesting for the audience to know that all those committees, I think there's something like 47 to 50 people that are on these committees that are from this community that volunteer their time to provide some structure and some ideas for our community. Can you hear me?
It's on.
There you go. Now, can you hear me now? So
I can hear you.
I'm saying that according to what I understand, there's 45 or 50 people, volunteers from this community on those various committees. So the borough council is more the public face, but behind the scenes, we have a lot of citizens who are really engaged in our community. I just want to recognize that. It's important for all of you to know that we have people in this community who are engaged and want to see things go positive and happen in this community. And I think one of the things that I'm interested in going forward is making sure that our citizens know when there are appointments up for review and get as many people engaged in that process as possible. And I think one of the reasons we can grow our community is when we have new participation on committees to give us direction.
Yeah.
So it'll be something that I'm really interested in working on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would love to see something like that, because as much as we would love to have all of you lined up for some of those committees, it's not like we have a long waiting list on a lot of these committees. It often takes some of us reaching out and saying, hey, you know somebody who might have a skill set, and this Mary smiles because I learned her on the planning with me years ago. But you can find ways you ever would love to get it out there. And each of these appointments that I just talked about, as Jerry said, these committees, there's a planning group of several folks that go through discussions on planning, there's zoning, there's all these others. All of those are really be a liaison from those groups. Take an example, planning is going to vote on some development could potentially happen. They're going to have discussion. Ideally, whoever's appointed here is sitting and listening to that, because eventually we have to vote on it. So we don't want to be completely dark. There will at least be one or two people here that are probably more familiar with that topic than the rest of us that can kind of share. With those meetings, sewer meeting we talked about, again, Ken has been on that for years. He brings a lot of information. There's a lot of ones that Andy sat on that really spent a lot of time in those committees. So it's really, as you said, those residents are doing the per se work. We have to be aware of what the discussions are before it comes to us. And that's really aware of each of those that I went through.
And just to be clear, I think some of these are simply subcommittees of council versus boards, commissions, which actually have appointments that are made by the council of residents to serve on those boards and commissions.
Yeah, a good example there would be like planning, you know, there's a group, but any personnel, there's going to be a couple folks that are handling any personnel issues within the borough. That's not a committee. It's a couple council members that are working through that. Finance is another one. There's a couple folks that are working together with Rod and Elijah on finance.
So I do support what Jerry has said, and I'm very interested in trying to broaden the representation of the residents of the borough in the involvement of continuing this wonderful community and bringing about the future that we all envision, which is going to be wrapped up soon with the regional comprehensive plan, which is a plan for the future of the region with Warwick Township and Elizabeth Township and Lititz Borough. And that's where a lot of the priorities for our future will be expressed, and we'll be responsible for carrying that forward. So I hope that if any of you heard anything that you're interested in, you have an interest, you'll reach out and let me know, let one of us know that you're interested, because we do want to see broader engagement. We'd love to see more people attend the regular meetings of council. I don't expect we'll see another night like tonight.
Next one.
But thank you all for coming tonight, and I do look forward to working with you all in the future.
I just want to clarify one thing, Roger, for these volunteers, they have to live in the borough.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to confirm.
And Steve, there's not a meeting in 2 weeks. It'll be the 30th of January. Okay. Ahead of myself. Okay. Discussion on that, guys? Okay,
Excuse me, just a point of clarification again. So if there is a particular committee that we are interested in serving, we should reach out to you.
yeah, shoot,
Be making appointments after the meeting on the 30th, is that right?
yeah, shoot me an email. Like I said, the first thing I need to do is go through and, you know, see what seats are vacant.
Okay,
Like I said, there's gonna be quite a few. Really, Ken and Christine will be the only ones that will on them.
hey, thank you. Let me see if there's any questions.
To the next item.
Oh, okay.
I was asking if there's any questions. We're getting to the final petitions, correspondence and questions and the public comments. Does anybody have any comments regarding anything that was not discussed today? Please come up to the mic, state your name and address. At once. Okay. John,
Motion that we adjourn. Second.
second, all in favor? Motion approved. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, y'all.